Hello everyone. I'm gonna keep this intro really short and quick. I've been wanting to do a roundup of all the makeup that I've tried over the past 6 months, so the first half of 2023. I definitely have some hits and misses, and I was hoping to apply them as we go along, and I'll do little mini reviews of them. So let's get right into it. As usual, to start off with, I already have my eyebrows done. I have my e.l.f. brow pencil, the e.l.f. Wow Brow, to set them in place, and my eyelashes are curled and my lips are prepped with Vaseline today. To start off with, I'm going to use not a new product, but I do need to color correct. So I'm going to use my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Peach. I'm just going to apply that to my normal places. And because this video is more focused on the actual products rather than techniques, I'm probably not going to focus too much on explaining where I'm placing things. I'm also going to go in with the same LA Girl Pro Conceal in the green shade and attack some of the redness and little spots I have around on my face. Okay, now we can actually get into the new products. So for base products, I actually only ended up trying one base product. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Liquid Makeup. They have, I think, 3 variations of skin tints and foundations. This is, I think, the most high coverage, and it has SPF 20. I've been trying this out. I've used it a few times over the last maybe couple of months, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a light to medium coverage, I would say. And what I like about it is that it looks like skin when you blend it out properly. I think it does have good staying power as well, as long as you set in the areas that you might have some movement of foundation normally. I'm not mad at the coverage, nor am I mad at the longevity of it. It is definitely more like natural wear. I wouldn't recommend it for full coverage, glam looks necessarily, but honestly, my go-to tends to be a medium coverage foundation, even for a little bit more dressy occasions. I have mine in the shade Natural Ivory. I actually really like this shade match for me as well. It's honestly like as close to my skin tone as I'm pretty sure product can get. I don't love the packaging on this. It's got no pump and no dropper, so you kind of just have to like pour it on your hand, so you can have some product wastage. I do tend to just go in with a little bit at a time so that I can avoid getting way too much out. I have heard this foundation be compared to the NARS Sheer Glow foundation, and the NARS Sheer Glow foundation is a very nice foundation for me. I really enjoy using that. I did actually finish mine this year earlier. I use mine in the shade Santa Fe, and I would say that it is similar to the NARS Sheer Glow, but for me, I prefer this maybe for more day-to-day, and the NARS Sheer Glow for something a little bit more special. I would say that the NARS Sheer Glow is also a little bit more glowy. This, I think, gives a pretty natural finish. Okay, we're gonna move on to concealer. I had tried the Catrice True Skin 18-Hour Hydrating High Cover Concealer with hyaluronic acid. This is waterproof. I have mine in the shade 010 Cool Cashmere. And I've been eyeing this concealer for a while. A lot of the people that I follow on YouTube seem to, favorite this one. And I like it. I just feel like I prefer my NYX Bare With Me concealer over this right now. The shade is fine. It's a bit brightening for me, so I tend to use this more just in the areas that I want to highlight. And I do like it a little bit more when I use less product. I feel like on my skin, especially under my eyes, it can get quite heavy, which is interesting because the reviews that I've seen, that's what people say about this foundation, is that it doesn't settle into creases as much. But I noticed that with the NYX Bare With Me concealer, I think it settles less into my fine lines under my eyes than this. That being said, I do think that this is good. I think this would be maybe like next in line. This definitely has more coverage than the NYX Bare With Me concealer. But yeah, I have been enjoying this. I think especially for an everyday basis, would prefer the NYX one. I have been reaching for this quite a bit on days that I do want a little bit more coverage, and if I'm not necessarily going for the most natural look. Okay, and that is the concealer done. We shall now move on to contour. And for bronzer and contour, I tried 2 new products, both from the drugstore. I tried the Makeup Revolution cream bronzer, and I have mine in the shade medium. I did feature this in an Ulta haul video that I did previously. I can link that. And actually a few of those products were featured in that haul. The other one that I tried out was the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand, and mine is in the shade medium tan. Because I used the Revolution one on camera already and I haven't used this on camera, I'll go ahead and apply the e.l.f. one. I like both of these. I believe the e.l.f. one is a lot more sheer, and the Revolution one, it's quite pigmented anyways compared to most bronzers. I think e.l.f. is on par with the pigmentation of the bronzers that are coming out these days, especially in the wand format, but the Revolution is definitely something else. I like to underpaint with the Revolution just because it's a bit deep and a little bit intense for me. So when I underpaint, I can kind of blend a foundation over that. Like I said, I'm gonna go with the e.l.f. Halo Glow today. I do like these shades of both of these bronzers that I've gotten. Like I said, I have the medium versions. If I were to try a different shade, I'd probably go for the lighter shades in both of these. I'm aware that the lighter shade in the Revolution bronzer is gray toned, as is the lightest shade in the e.l.f. contour wand. But yeah, I'm really liking this so far. It blends out really easily. It does have some pigmentation, like I said, but it does definitely blend out a lot easier too than the Revolution one. I definitely go for the e.l.f. one when I'm going for more of that just kind of effortless look. And this was a pretty big launch from e.l.f. this year. They launched the Glow Blush wands and the highlighter ones. But to be honest, like I'm not really interested in the shimmery kind of blush like that. I like glowy blushes, not necessarily ones with actual like a strobe effect. And I already have like highlighter wands as well, so I didn't necessarily need to try out the highlighter one. I'm gonna take a little bit of product off of the tip of this and go down the sides of my nose. And that is that. Now I'm going to apply my blushes. Out of the categories that I tried out, I feel like I tried out most blushes, not too many, but still more blushes than anything else, mostly lip products. The first thing that didn't work out for me this year was actually this e.l.f. bite-sized blush duo, and I had mine in the shade Spiced Apple. I did declutter this in my declutter video. I can have that linked below as well if you haven't seen that. I just feel like this blush shade isn't very flattering on my skin tone, and this highlighter is too deep for my skin tone to be used as like a proper highlight. I can use it as an eyeshadow, but I have too many eyeshadows like that. So it's not so much the formula, but the shade that just doesn't work for me. I did declutter this, and I haven't actually physically decluttered it yet, but I have it in a pile of things that I'm going to give away. That was kind of like a dud for me. I have another powder blush from e.l.f. This is the Primer Infused blush, and I have mine in the shade Always Punchy. So this is not a new product by any means, but I have always been eyeing these and somehow never got around to trying it. I did place an e.l.f. order this year, and I ordered both of these in that. And honestly, there's like nothing wrong with this blush. It just takes a little bit of extra work, I think, for a powder blush to impress me. If anything, I can give this that it does have a bit of a blurring quality to it. Not very much, it's not super like blurring, but I do think it looks nice on the skin. There's just like nothing really special about this in my opinion. I also finally tried the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush, and I got mine in the shade Hope. This I love. It's a really nice everyday color, really up my alley. This is kind of what I tend to look for in a blush in shade wise. I have been enjoying doing different things with this, mixing it with some foundation, underpainting with this, mixing it with highlighter. So I've been enjoying that quite a bit. And finally, I did pick up the Tower 28 Beach Please Cream Blush in the shade Office Hours. I got this in set during the Sephora VIB sale, and I have really been enjoying that too. So I think I'm gonna do a layered blush look today just so I can use a couple of these. I am trying to like use as many of the products as I can in this. I'm gonna start off with the cream blush. I'm gonna use this Tower 28 one. And this is also just like one of those kind of everyday mauvey pink shades. I do need to experiment with different blush shades. That's why I tried the Spiced Apple from e.l.f. But I don't know, I didn't really like that one on me. but this one is definitely better. I love the consistency of this. This is similar to the Honest Beauty blush. I prefer my cream blushes to have that cream finish even after application. So I don't necessarily love cream to powder blushes. They're really easy to blend and everything, but I just prefer having that dewy kind of plumping effect by a blush. Okay, so I actually don't want to do too much of this because I will apply another blush on top of this. Before I top this blush with a powder blush, I'm going to set my under eye. And to set my under eye, I have another product that I've tried this year. This is the e.l.f. Prime and Stay Finishing Powder. I have mine in the shade Fairlight. This is a random product on the e.l.f. website. It's been there for a really long time. It's very inexpensive. I believe this was $4. And I saw Julia Adams on YouTube. She recommends this powder quite a bit. And so I thought it couldn't hurt to try. And I really like it actually. I would say that like because they're toned, that I would think that Fairlight for me would impart quite a bit of a brightening effect. It doesn't do as much. It's really good for mattifying, not so much for brightening. And I've also picked up this little technique of using the triangle puffs. But yeah, I've been definitely going for this powder over some of my other powders to set my under eye with. As you can see, it did a really nice job. I wish it had a little bit more of a brightening quality to it, but that's okay. It's more like just translucent on me. And I've definitely been enjoying more pressed powders these days rather than loose powders. I feel like loose powders, they're more messy and you have to like control how much comes out. This is like the easiest thing, I feel like, the pressed powder. Would definitely recommend this Prime and Stay powder. I feel like this is a bit of a hidden gem. Not many people are talking about this. Now the under eyes are set. I'm not going to set the rest of my face today. I just don't necessarily feel like doing that. I'll now apply the second blush. I will use the e.l.f. Always Punchy Primer Infused Blush to top this one off. This one's definitely a little bit of a brighter color for summer. It's nothing like super bright. I'm not trying to say that this is like not wearable whatsoever, but it's nice for the summer. And that's it for blush. I'm trying to decide if I want to do highlight today. I don't have any highlighters besides the e.l.f. one that I tried this year that I really like. So I think I will just use my Flower Beauty Spotlight Liquid Highlighter and the shade Opal. And I took off the little applicator of this to make it a little bit more user-friendly. And I know the video is not about old products, but I don't necessarily love this highlighter. I feel like it dries down too quickly. I feel like every time I place a dot on my skin, it stays there. It's a little bit hard to blend out because it dries right away. Not very many people have that issue with this, so I might be the only ones, but let me know if you have tried this and have a similar issue of it drying down too fast. Okay, now we can move on to the eyes. I'm going to start with priming my eyelids, and I'm going to use an old cream eyeshadow of mine that I'm not even going to mention because it is discontinued, I believe. I haven't filmed in so long. Well, it feels like a very long time since I've last filmed because I've just been busy. We've had guests over staying at the house, and it's been raining, and they have been repainting our apartment complex. So, I mean, I haven't had natural light, and there's been like construction sounds, and it just hasn't been a great time. Today, I noticed that the sun was coming out, so I decided that I should probably film a couple of videos. Okay, now we are done priming the eyes, and let's go through the few eye products that I have tried. I tried out this e.l.f. No Budge Matte Shadow Stick in the shade Bombshell. It's this like cute pink. I wish that it was a little bit closer to what is shown on the tube and what is on the website. I feel like on me it's a little bit more cool toned. Yeah, I think you can definitely see that it's more cool toned than what's on the packaging. And just that like slight amount of coolness on my eyelids I'm not necessarily appreciating. So this hasn't really gotten too much use out of me. The formula is okay. I don't really have any complaints about that. I use this as like a primer if I'm gonna go in with other like pink eyeshadow. So I think it's a nice base for a pink look, but I can't seem to get on board with it as a one and done. In fact, it kind of just looks like I have like some irritation on my eyelids when I use it. On the other hand, during the Sephora sale, I did pick up this Natasha Denona 5-pan palette. This is the Mini Biba palette, and this I have been getting quite a bit of use out of, and I'm really enjoying this quite a bit. Natasha Denona's formula is actually spectacular. I feel like it looks really pretty on the eyes and it makes your eyelids look prettier. So it's not super powdery. A lot of times when you put it on, it looks like you have a cream shadow on. It actually somehow makes your eyelids look smoother. I have wrinkly eyelids, both on the upper and lower lid. So I tend to have that problem with eyeshadows, especially powders, where they just look very heavy on my eyes and emphasize those lines. But this actually does the opposite. I feel like it makes my eyelids look better. And I mostly got it for this like peaches shade because I didn't have any peach colors in my collection. I've been trying to get into the more peach side of things rather than pink side of things. Surprisingly, I have been enjoying all the rest of the shades as well. This shimmer is absolutely gorgeous and I use this shade as a liner. The other two shades I like to use as a one and done. Honestly, I can do like a one and done eyeshadow look with any of these 5 shades, but the combinations of them are really nice as well. So for today, I'm going to use this palette and I think what I'll do is use this second eye shade in my crease. Actually, I'll just kind of do like a one and done with this eyeshadow first, see how that ends up. I kind of want to go more the neutral route today. And I'm also just going to use that same shadow on the lower lid, lower lash line rather. And I really like that as just like a natural kind of one and done. You could probably get a similar effect by using bronzer, but I do like the slight warmth this shade has to offer. Almost has like a pinkiness, peachiness to it as well. I'm gonna talk now about some of the eyeliner products that I tried. I tried this Sephora 12-Hour Colorful Waterproof Eye Pencil, and this is really nice. It's creamy and it stays in place mostly. I love to tightline, and I have a lot of trouble finding products that one, stay in place on the tight line and also don't come down onto the waterline. And this is one of the products that I have found that can mostly do that. It's not like 100%, but it is so far the best product that I have tried in terms of eyeliner. I've tried many of them as well, so I highly recommend. And I did try this Milani Stay Put Matte Eyeliner. It has 17 hours of wear, and I have mine in the shade Black Matte. I also have the shade Black Lace in the 12-Hour Colorful Liner. So this was really nice. This has decent wear time, but I don't like the application style. I just feel like this traditional kind of pot, I want to say it's a little bit outdated. I feel like the markers and the pens that we have now are just more user-friendly. And this, I feel like, skips when I'm trying to line my eyes with it. I use the NYX Epic Ink Liner, and when I need a liquid eyeliner, I don't see any reason to use this over that, for me at least. Today, because I'm just kind of doing a natural brown look, I'm going to use my Sephora Shadow and Liner, kind of this chubby crayon. This is the shade Dark Brown Matte. And I'm going to tightline my eyes with this. This is not a new product. I've been using this for years, and it's really nice. This also doesn't transfer as much from tightline to waterline. And with this, I'm going to do a very soft wing. I'm going to use a little brush to smudge that out. I feel like in summer, I tend to prefer just like a shadow wing or something not too harsh. I also feel like for hooded eyes, a liquid eyeliner wing is a little bit harder to perfect. This just kind of looks a little bit more effortless. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the Natasha Denona palette and pull the darker shade that I like to use as a liner. And I'm just going to kind of use that to intensify this brown and blend it out a little bit more. And I'm just roughly bringing this into about halfway. I think super neat. I'm just trying to add a little bit of more depth towards the lash line. Yeah, I'm actually liking that barely there kind of eye. Now that I've gotten most of my powders on, I think I will set my face. I tried the Milani Make It Last Original Natural Finish Setting Spray, and I've really been enjoying this. This I also used in my Ulta haul. After using it quite a few times, I really like the fact that you can just bring a little bit of moisture back into the makeup look. So if you have anything that's like looking a little bit dry or cakey, you can use this to tone down that powdery effect. And I've noticed that it really does help my makeup stay in place. I don't like have a quantifiable figure to give you there. I don't know how many hours more it lasts with this than without, but I noticed that my makeup is mostly in place at the end of the day when I use this. Now, I will go in with mascara, and I use the e.l.f. Lash and Roll in the shade Black. This is definitely a more everyday type of mascara. I wouldn't necessarily use this on a glam day. That being said, it's really nice. It is definitely moved up to the top. I've been gravitating towards this quite a bit on an everyday basis. It doesn't add too much volume in my opinion. I feel like it separates the lashes really nicely and adds a little bit of length. Definitely an everyday mascara, but a really good one. This has definitely come up to the top. I really can't think of anything better to use. I can probably safely say right now that this is my top kind of everyday mascara. And that is the difference between my two lashes. I've noticed that it builds up on itself nicely as well. I don't typically go in with more than 2 coats, so I don't know if this is like something that you can infinitely build, but it definitely works for a couple coats. It just gives kind of like these fanned out wispy lashes. I know they have a brown version and apparently an extra black. I thought I would have gotten the blackest version, but apparently I didn't. So next time if I place an order, I will try the brown mascara and the extra black version. Now the last category that I have, which is the biggest category by far, is lips. I've been on the hunt for more glossy, non-matte, things that aren't traditional lipstick format. And also I've been looking for more lip liners, so I think that's what I've been trying out recently. For lip liners, I have tried out these 2 by NYX, which are Nude Truffle and Peekaboo Neutral. I definitely prefer Nude Truffle. It's very similar to the color of the outside of my lip, so it's nice for a nude lip when I don't want something super harsh. Peekaboo Neutral is very similar to Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. Some days it works on my lips and some days it doesn't. Some days it just kind of is too light. In the Sephora sale, I picked up their Sephora Collection lip liner to go in the shade Rosewood. A nice one. I mean, it's just like a pinky shade. I'll swatch it actually. It's right here. I use it sometimes. I don't really have much to say about this. This isn't really a standout product, I would say, but it is okay if you are in need of a lip liner. There's nothing wrong with it. I did try out this L'Oreal Paris Color Riche Matte Lip Liner in the shade 110 Matte Sit. And this I have been enjoying quite a bit. It's a little bit deeper than Nude Truffle. It has a little bit of a pinky base to it. It's like a cooler pinky brown. I have been loving this. It's creamy, glides on really easily, and it stays put too. I think for today I just kind of want to stick with something nude. Yeah, I think I'll use this one today, the L'Oreal one. Outer corners of my lips these days are very dry, very flaky. I'm cracking all the time. So I tend to avoid putting lip liner too close to the corners just to not dry them out a little bit more. That's it for lip liner. On top of that, I think I will just use the thing that I've been using the most, which is the NYX Fat Lip Drip Oil. Nobody has confirmed how to say this, but I have mine in the shade Mist Call. I've been using this like crazy over the summer. Just a nice, not very greasy, like it's not like an oily oil. It stays in place. It's a bit thicker than a true lip oil, but I love the shade. Just adds a little hint of like pinkiness, barely anything. So it's really nice when you just want to wear a contouring lip liner underneath, and it's very comfortable on the lips. No complaints. I think I'm done with my look for today. I will go through the rest of the products that I did try. So I tried the Makeup by Mario, whatever this is. I always forget what it's called. Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Color, and I have mine in the shade Soft Blush. There are certain aspects of this that I like and certain ones that I don't. Overall, I wish this was better. I feel like they can make this into something really nice. It doesn't plump your lips too much. It feels really nice. I think you can feel a slight cooling sensation. It's nothing too over the top. And I feel like a lot of people wouldn't even notice that at all. But I do notice a little bit of like a cooling sensation when I put it on. I like the color of this. I like the other colors actually more, the hot pink color. But this is the nice like kind of everyday color. What I don't like about it is it's a little bit milky in the sense that when you put it on your lips, it settles into the lines of your lips. Pigment kind of deposits more into the lines of your lips. It's not that easy to apply. I don't know. I don't think that this is a super universal product. So this is a pretty shade, but I just feel like this could be better. I do use it sometimes when I want a little bit more of an opaque gloss, but I'm not enjoying it too much. Okay, this is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Tinted Lip Balm with hyaluronic acid, and I have the shade You're the Palm. This is like something that's really nice to just throw into your purse and use it on the go. It's just a tinted lip balm. There's nothing special about it in that regard, but it is nice to have a tinted lip balm on days that you're not really wearing any makeup and you need something to go on really quick. Not much to say about this. I think I will purchase a different shade of this. I have my eye on the Bliss You Berry, which is apparently similar to the Black Honey by Clinique. But yeah, middle of the road kind of lip balm for you. This I am very excited to share. These are by Relove. Relove is Revolution's more budget-friendly brand at Walmart. Everything is under $5. And I picked up on a whim, really, 2 of these lip products. Not knowing that, first of all, these were 2 separate things. I thought I was picking up the same thing in different shades. But first I picked up the Baby Tint. It's a lip and cheek tint, and I have mine in the shade Fuchsia. Now this is actually surprisingly nice. This, by the way, was I think $2. It was like $1.98. One of these was $1.98 and one of these was $2.98. I can't really remember which. But this tint is really nice. I like the color. It's this like bright pink. It leaves quite a bit of stain. I'll actually remove that in a second to show you the stain. See, it leaves a really nice stain behind. So I've really been liking this baby tint. It's not like very much product, but for the price, I mean, what can you say? I think this is something that cannot be overlooked. Definitely recommend checking that out. And this baby gloss I picked up in the shade Babe. I thought I was picking up another lip tint, to be completely honest, but it's a gloss. This surprised me. I didn't have any expectations of this. This is very opaque, so if you're in the market for an opaque lip gloss, I would recommend. Look at that. A really like nice bright red color. And it is fully opaque, very glossy, and it's really comfortable. This is really comfortable on the lips. And I'm actually really surprised at the quality of this. I definitely think that you should check this out. Not really gonna hurt your wallet too much just to try them out. But the baby gloss is good for anybody that's looking for an opaque lip gloss. It actually feels a lot more high-end than the price tag. And this baby tint is also like really nice too. So those I was pleasantly surprised by. To go with my Tower 28 blush, I got the Sesame Shine On Lip Jelly by Tower 28. Sorry, the shade was Sesame. This was really nice. I have been gravitating towards this over the past couple of months. It's a non-sticky gloss. It has a decent amount of pigment to it. It's just a nice everyday type of gloss. I would say that it is thinner. It's not like a sticky gloss. So like the lip oil that I'm wearing right now, the NYX one, I feel like this is a lot thinner. And this actually feels a little bit more like a lip oil than the NYX gloss. I finally tried out the Superstay Vinyl Ink lipstick things by Maybelline. I'm shaking that because that's force of habit. Anyways, I have mine in the shade Unrivaled and also Lippy. So Unrivaled, I bought for an event that I needed to go to. These things are really miraculous. They don't really budge. They have incredible wear, so they're extremely opaque. They're very thin when they go on. So like it doesn't take much to get you like a full opaque look. I think this will be better for me in the fall and winter. This is it right here, Unrivaled. And Lippy is a really nice wearable red. I mean, it's described as a cranberry red. I wouldn't, it's a red, but it's like has a bit of a neutral thing going on for it as well. These you shake to activate them. You apply them. First of all, like I said, they're opaque. The applicator makes it really easy to get a sharp lip line with them. You let them set. So they kind of have like a natural type of finish. I wouldn't say like it's a glossy finish or anything, but it is not matte. It's a lot more comfortable than a matte lipstick. It's really not a matte liquid lipstick whatsoever. It's not transfer proof entirely. So if you put it on something, a little tiny bit will come off every single time. But I think what's super unique about it is that it comes off very evenly. Only a little bit comes off at a time, so it takes forever. I've eaten meals with this, and I have like an issue with like my eyes and my lips where everything bleeds out. And like lip products just do not stay like in place for me. A lip product will always go away. I don't know if it's the way that I eat or something, but I just don't have good luck with this. This is like the best thing that I have found that is like budge proof. I don't mess with liquid lipstick. My dry lips cannot handle that kind of stuff, but this is really nice. I wore this to a wedding and it was completely fine by the end of the wedding. And this I have worn like all day and it just like does not budge. It's not really an issue for me, but something that I was not expecting with this is that it does remain tacky all day. There is a tack to it. It's not sticky and it's not gloopy. It's not like product is like coming off. I don't really know how to explain it actually, but your lips will stick together every time you kind of like push them together. So I think just be aware of that feeling. But other than that, a pretty crazy product. I want to pick up more shades of this. It's pretty crazy. I'm kind of late to the game. This has already been viral. Anyways, that was quite a long video. I did manage to get through everything. Like I said, most of the things that I tried out this year were hits or okay-ish products at least. A couple of duds here and there. A lot of it is probably my own fault for picking up the incorrect shades. A lot of it is shades not suiting me rather than the actual formula. But yeah, super happy with what I've been trying out this year. I think the look that I came out with today using these products is really nice. It's just like a natural kind of everyday look. Very neutral, nothing too over the top, but I really am liking this skin right now. I think that they work well together. Liking how the eyes turned out with the Natasha Denona palette and this mascara. Anyways, if you enjoyed watching this video and you'd like to see more from me, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe underneath the video. It means a lot to me. I'm just starting out this channel, and every bit of interaction that I get from you, it helps quite a bit. So I really appreciate your time if you made it to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.